Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are tackling something that affects literally every single one of us every single day. We're going to dive right in and decode the exact psychological frameworks that separate the people who actually build wealth from the ones who, well, just spend it. You see, building wealth isn't just about making more money. It's really about becoming the architect of the money you already have. So today, we're going to break down the powerful principles used by self-made millionaires, and we are going to master the art of intentional spending together. So why do high earners still go broke? It's kind of a crazy question, right? I mean, we usually operate under this illusion that a massive salary automatically equals massive wealth. But man, the painful reality is entirely different. We constantly see doctors, lawyers, and super highly paid executives literally living paycheck to paycheck. And why is that? Well, because you can out-earn a bad spending habit for a little while, sure, but eventually emotional spending is going to catch up with you. The gap between what you earn and what you actually keep, that is where true wealth is decided. And that brings us to the core mindset shift of our explainer today, becoming the intentional spender. This is a total 180-degree departure from how most of society operates. Society is constantly telling us to spend based on how we feel in the moment, right? Emotional impulses, stress relief, trying to impress the neighbors. The intentional spender completely rejects all of that. They move away from the emotional and shift entirely toward deliberate, purposeful money management. For them, every single dollar is given a very specific job before it ever even leaves their account. This right here is the dividing line. On the one hand, you've got the emotional spender. They're buying for status and instant gratification. It's that quick hit of dopamine from a shiny new purchase, usually meant to signal success to everyone around them. But on the flip side, we have the intentional spender. They buy for utility, and they are absolute masters of delayed gratification. Instead of asking, how will I look owning this? They ask, what is the actual use of this thing? And it's these small, diverging choices that really compound over time. The emotional spender gets a momentary thrill, but the intentional spender, they get long-term freedom. Now, to actually make that shift, we have to talk about mastering money psychology. Because the truth is, before you can permanently change what you do with your cash, you have to fundamentally rewire how you think about it. And the absolute foundational pillar of that psychology is opportunity cost. This is the potential financial growth and freedom permanently lost when you choose to spend money today instead of investing it for tomorrow. This mental model is an absolute game changer. Once you truly understand opportunity cost, you realize that a dollar spent isn't just a dollar gone, it's literally the death of all the future dollars that original dollar could have grown into. It completely reframes your reality. It naturally forces you to practice delayed gratification, because suddenly that random impulse purchase looks overwhelmingly expensive when you factor in the future freedom you're giving up to get it. Okay, so once you've got opportunity cost down, you are finally equipped to face the most common trap out there for growing incomes, and that is beating lifestyle inflation. This is that insidious little process where your expenses magically creep up to match your new income, which keeps your net worth exactly the same. We have all seen this incredibly familiar timeline play out, right? Let's walk through it. Month one, boom, you finally get that hard-earned raise. You feel rich. Then month two rolls around, and because you feel rich, you immediately go out and finance a brand new car, adding this massive monthly payment. Month three, you start upgrading your subscriptions, your dinners out, buying nicer clothes, and suddenly by month four, the math settles. You are right back to living paycheck to paycheck in the exact same spot you started, just with a slightly nicer leather seat in your car and a whole lot more stress. That raise was just instantly swallowed by new emotional commitments. So, how do the wealthy actually avoid that agonizing 4-month cycle? Well, they use the pay yourself first mechanic. It is super simple. Step 1, your income hits your account. Step 2, before you even look at a bill or open an online shopping cart, an auto transfer immediately moves a portion straight into your investments. Step 3, you only spend what is left over. You see, your average spender buys whatever they want and invests whatever happens to be left. But the intentional spender invests what they need for their future first and then spends whatever happens to be left. It's a total reversal of the standard process, and it works flawlessly because it completely removes human willpower from the equation. To put that into practice day to day, we use the wealth defense budget. It breaks down like this. 20% goes straight to investments and savings. That's your step 2 from just a second ago. 50% covers your fixed costs, so things like rent, groceries, utilities, and then 30% is allocated for guilt-free spending. Notice that word, defense. Tracking your expenses through a balanced, intentional budget isn't there to restrict you. It actually acts as a defense mechanism to protect your long-term wealth from your own short-term impulses. And with that 30% guilt-free slice, you can absolutely enjoy your life right now without sabotaging your future. All right, so now that our defense is set up, we need to completely shift gears from financial defense to financial offense. Because you can't just budget your way to incredible wealth. You've got to focus on what you're actually acquiring. And the ultimate rule of financial offense is prioritizing assets over liabilities. Let's break down exactly what that means. Assets put money into your pocket and appreciate over time. We're talking investments, real estate, businesses. These are financial vehicles that go out and generate more money for you. Liabilities, on the other hand, take money out of your pocket and drop in value. Think cars, high-end electronics, massive wardrobes. Self-made millionaires are ruthless about prioritizing things that generate more money. They keep their liabilities to the absolute bare minimum and pour literally every spare dollar into accumulating more assets. Ultimately, all of this culminates in thinking like a millionaire. It's really about taking these psychological shifts and mechanical steps we've talked about and synthesizing them into one cohesive daily strategy that guides every single financial move you make. So let's rapid fire through some of the practical rules the wealthy use day in and day out. First up, they negotiate big purchases. They almost never accept the sticker price if they don't have to, which keeps way more capital freed up for their investments. Second, they track every single expense. Why? Because you absolutely cannot optimize what you don't measure. Third, and guys, this is a big one, they think in decades, not days. While the average person is stressing about the weekend, the intentional spender is calculating compound interest over the next 20 years. And finally, they recognize their emotional spending triggers. They know exactly when they're most vulnerable to making a bad purchase, and they intentionally remove themselves from those situations entirely. Which brings our entire journey today full circle. Wealth is built by the purchases you intentionally choose not to make. I really want that to sink in for a second. We are constantly bombarded with the message that wealth is all about what you own, what you drive, what brands you wear. But true, lasting wealth, the kind that actually buys back your time and gives you ultimate freedom, that is constructed in the quiet moments of restraint. Restraint is the ultimate architect of wealth. So I want to leave you with a quick challenge for the very next time you pull out your wallet. Just pause and ask yourself, will this next purchase pay my future self, or is it just comforting my present self? Am I buying an asset right now or a liability? Am I operating as an intentional spender or an emotional one? The choice, and honestly, your entire financial future, is completely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today. Keep learning, stay intentional, and I will see you next time.